Have you ever found yourself searching for profound wisdom, but felt completely overwhelmed by maybe dense ancient texts?
Yeah, that's a common feeling.
What if I told you there's a meticulously crafted spiritual toolkit, almost, a collection of foundational insights, perfectly distilled and ready for you to dive into?
Ah, I think I know where you're going with this.
Today, that's precisely what we're doing. We've taken your sources on the Khuddakapāṭha, and our mission is to unpack these crucial sections. This is a truly significant collection of concise, foundational Buddhist texts. It's often seen as, well, an excellent entry point for new learners or maybe for daily recitation.
Absolutely. It's part of the Khuddaka Nikāya.
Right, which is itself part of the larger Pali canon. That's the complete scripture collection in Theravada Buddhism. And the Khuddaka Nikāya is known for these shorter, often more accessible texts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very approachable.
So our goal today is to offer you a shortcut, maybe, to understanding their core messages and practical applications. Hopefully you can walk away well-informed and perhaps with some surprising aha moments.
Sounds good.
Okay, let's unpack this fascinating collection and see what nuggets of wisdom await us.
Indeed. What truly stands out about the Khuddakapāṭha, I think, is how these brief texts, despite being so short, they lay out such a comprehensive foundation.
Right.
Yeah, for a path of insight and compassion, you get everything from basic ethics to profound meditation. It's a surprisingly complete framework for spiritual development, all packed in there.
Okay, so kicking off our journey into the Khuddakapāṭha, we begin with something called the Saraṇagamanaṃ. That translates to going for refuge, right?
That's right, going for a refuge.
For many, this is seen as the absolute starting point, like you said, for anyone embracing the Buddhist path. It's essentially a profound declaration of commitment. But for someone maybe new to these ideas, or perhaps even a bit skeptical, what does taking refuge actually mean in a practical sense? Is it just saying some words?
That's a really crucial distinction to make. It's not just words. The core idea is the triple refuge. I go for refuge to the Buddha, I go for refuge to the Dhamma, I go for refuge to the Saṅgha.
Okay.
And our source mentions this is traditionally recited 3 times. But it's far more than just a casual statement or, a prayer for passive shelter.
So it's active.
It's a deliberate, active alignment. Think of it less as seeking refuge from responsibility and more like intentionally aligning your inner compass.
Ah, okay. Like setting a direction.
Precisely. You're setting a clear direction for your life. You're choosing to orient yourself towards enlightened wisdom, that's the Buddha, towards the truth of reality as taught by the Buddha, that's the Dhamma, which includes the teachings and the universal laws they reveal, and towards the community of practitioners, the Saṅgha, who embody and uphold that truth. It really shifts your internal compass, turning, every moment into a potential step towards clarity and compassion, even when you stumble a bit.
That makes sense. So from that foundational commitment, it seems natural that the Khuddakapāṭha then transitions right into practical ethical conduct.
It flows logically, yeah.
With the dasasikkhāpadaṃ, or the 10 precepts, these are often seen as the foundational moral guidelines for daily life.
The groundwork.
Now, I've always wondered, what's the fundamental difference in maybe the spirit or the purpose between the first 5 precepts, the ones most people know, and those additional 5 often adopted by monastics or really dedicated practitioners?
That's an excellent question because you're right. They're not just rules to follow blindly. They're really practices for cultivating a skillful way of living.
A skillful living. Okay.
Yeah, ways that reduce harm and support inner peace. The first 5, which our sources list, are indeed widely known and pretty much applicable to everyone. Abstaining from taking life.
Right.
From taking what is not given, so stealing. From sexual misconduct, from false speech, and from intoxicating drinks that cause heedlessness. These are about basic ethical conduct fostering harmony in society and, well, within oneself.
Okay, go basic.
Then the additional 5 precepts, they really deepen the practice. They include abstaining from eating at the wrong time, from dancing, singing, music, and unseemly shows, from wearing garlands, perfumes, and adornments, from using high or luxurious beds, and from accepting gold and silver.
Wow, that's quite a list.
It is, but these additional precepts aren't meant to be punitive. They're more like an invitation to discover the freedom that comes from not being driven by excessive sensual desire or, attachment to worldly comforts.
I see. So it's about simplifying.
Exactly. Simplifying life, removing subtle distractions to uncover a deeper, more profound sense of contentment. and building a stronger basis for inner peace and positive relationships.
So no late-night snacks or dance parties if you're truly dedicated to those.
Well, in that specific context, yes.
But seriously, the depth of intention behind them becomes much clearer when you see them that way. Okay, now we move to something quite different, the dvattiṃsākāro.
Ah, yes, the 32 parts.
So the 32 parts of the body. This sounds a bit like an anatomy lesson, but it's clearly a contemplative practice, isn't it? Used for a very specific and maybe counterintuitive purpose.
It is indeed a very specific contemplative tool. This practice is designed to foster detachment from the body.
Detachment. How?
By seeing it in a very objective, sometimes quite unappealing light. It's about recognizing the composite, impermanent nature of what we often identify so strongly with as me or mine.
Right, this physical self.
Exactly. And the source gets quite detailed, listing things like muscles, sinews, bones, bone marrow, kidneys, heart, liver, spleen, lungs, intestines, feces, bile, phlegm, pus, blood, sweat, fat, tears, saliva, mucus, urine, and brain.
That's thorough.
It's an exhaustive listing, and it serves a specific purpose. By systematically contemplating each of these components, one helps to see the body objectively, moving beyond vanity or strong attachment, or even aversion to it as some fixed, desirable thing.
I can imagine that being quite an intense, almost clinical contemplation.
Yeah.
It sounds, well, maybe a bit grim. What's the emotional or psychological impact of this practice usually?
It can certainly be intense, yes. But what's fascinating here, and perhaps unexpected, is that while it might seem unappealing on the surface, this practice can actually be a radical act of self-acceptance.
Really? How so?
Well, by truly seeing the body as just a composite, impermanent collection of elements, practitioners often report a kind of release, a release from the burden of needing it to be perfect or permanent, or the source of lasting identity.
Okay, letting go of that obsession.
Precisely. It lessens our obsession with outward appearance and fleeting sensual pleasure. This practice deepens the understanding of impermanence and non-self, opening the door to profound equanimity and inner peace. You start to realize the body is simply a vehicle subject to change and decay rather than the core of who you truly are.
That's a profound shift.
Yeah.
Okay, so from the physical body, we jump into the conceptual with the Saṅgha.
The novice's questions, yes.
This feels like a catechism almost. A quick-fire summary of core Buddhist concepts presented in an easily memorizable format. It seems like a shortcut for foundational understanding.
That's a perfect description, actually. This section acts as a pedagogical tool. It presents foundational Buddhist concepts in a numerical question-and-answer style that covers a lot of ground very quickly.
Designed for learning.
Yes, designed for rapid assimilation, especially for those just beginning their studies. For instance, the source asks, what is two? The answer, name and form.
Name and form.
It refers to the mental and physical components that make up our experience, nama and rupa. It lays the groundwork for understanding selflessness. Or what are four? The answer, the Four Noble Truths.
The core teachings.
Exactly. Then there's what are eight, leading to the Noble Eightfold Path.
The path itself.
Right. And finally, what are 10, which points to an arahant is said to be endowed with 10 qualities. An arahant being someone who has completely eliminated defilements and attained liberation.
It's so concise, it packs so much in. What's the historical significance of structuring these complex ideas in such a direct, numerical way? How is this used, and why is it maybe still relevant today for learning?
Its value lies precisely in its directness and memorability. You have to remember, this was largely an oral tradition initially.
Right, so memory was key.
Absolutely. Structures like this were vital for transmitting and preserving knowledge accurately. It ensured that even at the earliest stages of practice, people grasped the essential frameworks that underpin the entire teaching. Today, it still offers an incredibly efficient way to get a foundational understanding of core Buddhist concepts without getting bogged down immediately in, say, extensive philosophical treatises. It's a testament to the clarity and practicality of ancient pedagogy, really.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, one of the most widely known and cherished texts in the Khuddakapāṭha, I think.
Definitely well-loved.
The Maṅgalasuttaṃ, or the Discourse on Blessings. This sutta describes true blessings, not as external gifts or good luck, but as wholesome actions and qualities that lead to genuine well-being.
That's the core idea, redefining blessings.
It said that even kings and commoners would seek out the Buddha to hear these very blessings. That suggests a pretty universal appeal across society, doesn't it?
Absolutely. The setting described in the source is quite vivid. A deity visits the Buddha in Jetavana, that famous monastery park near Savatthi where the Buddha often stayed,
Okay.
illuminating the whole grove, and asks about the highest blessing. The Buddha then provides this expensive list which profoundly reframes our understanding of what constitutes a truly blessed life.
And the list itself.
It's incredibly practical and comprehensive. It includes things like not associating with fools, associating with the wise, honoring those worthy of honor, basic social wisdom, really.
Yeah, sounds like good advice anytime.
Then there's great learning, skilled craftsmanship, well-trained discipline, well-spoken words, things related to personal development. It even covers family and work, support of mother and father, support of wife and children, unconfused occupations, very grounded in daily life.
It's striking how timeless and relevant these blessings still are. So many of them sound like common sense advice for a good life even today. What's the deeper insight here for us, beyond just, a list of good actions?
I think the profound insight is that true blessings are entirely within our control. They're not external gifts or strokes of good fortune that can be lost.
So it's internal.
Exactly. They are internal states and actions that cultivate genuine well-being regardless of external circumstances. The sutta culminates with the ultimate blessing, a mind unshaken by worldly conditions, sorrowless, stainless, secure. This demonstrates that true flourishing comes from cultivating inner qualities and ethical conduct, not just relying on external circumstances going our way. It sort of democratizes happiness, making it accessible to anyone who cultivates these qualities. It empowers individuals to create their own blessed life, you could say.
I like that, democratizing happiness. Okay, this next sutta, the Ratanasuttaṃ, or the Jewel Discourse, this feels like it touches the very heart of Buddhist devotion.
It really does.
It's a profound praise of what are known as the triple gem, the Buddha, Dhamma, and Saṅgha, described as precious jewels, symbolizing their invaluable nature. What makes these three components so profoundly precious within this tradition? Why jewels?
That's a great observation, and the jewel metaphor is key. It highlights the aspirational qualities of the Buddhist path through its highest exemplars. This sutta really serves to inspire confidence and devotion by recognizing the profound value of these spiritual anchors.
And the praises themselves.
The source includes some beautiful lines. For the Buddha, it says he is the excellent knower of excellence, giver of excellence, bringer of excellence, the unsurpassed who taught the excellent Dhamma.
Quite a description.
It emphasizes his role as the discoverer and revealer of the path. The Dhamma, the teachings themselves, are beautifully compared to a forest grove blooming in summer.
Oh, lovely imagery.
It evokes a sense of vibrant truth and flourishing, doesn't it? A natural unfolding of reality that is beautiful and life-giving.
Yeah.
And the Saṅgha, the community of practitioners who attain liberation or are striving towards it, is praised as those whose seeds are destroyed, whose desires are extinguished, who are extinguished like a lamp.
Extinguished like a lamp, meaning liberation.
Exactly. That powerful imagery points to the attainment of liberation, signifying the end of suffering and rebirth for those who follow the path. So these three are called jewels because they represent the most valuable things one can encounter or cultivate on a spiritual journey. The guide, Buddha, the path, Dhamma, and the exemplary companions, Saṅgha.
That makes the jewel analogy very clear. Okay, moving on, we have the Tirokuḍḍakaṇḍaṃ, or the Discourse on the Ghost Beyond the Wall.
An interesting one.
This section discusses the transfer of merit to departed relatives and highlights the importance of compassion. Many cultures share similar ideas, actually. But what makes the Buddhist understanding of merit transfer unique, especially in its emphasis on the Saṅgha?
That's a good point about cultural resonance.
And maybe for listeners who might be skeptical of the idea of ghosts, what's the underlying principle being conveyed here?
Okay, this is a truly fascinating cultural and spiritual insight within the Khuddakapāṭha. The source vividly describes the plight of departed beings who receive no remembrance or offerings. It says, no one remembers those beings due to their actions.
So their past actions affect their state.
Yes, but also the actions of the living matter. It emphasizes the act of giving pure, choice food and drink at the proper time out of compassion for them.
An act of giving.
And it uses these powerful analogies to explain how this transfer of merit works. It says, just as rain on high ground flows to the low and rivers fill the ocean, so offerings from here reach the departed.
I see the imagery.
Yeah.
But the Saṅgha connection.
Right. What's crucial here is the insight provided. Weeping and sorry don't actually benefit the departed. Instead, it clearly states that offerings established in the Saṅgha are truly beneficial for the departed for a long time.
Why the Saṅgha specifically?
The emphasis on the Saṅgha is because they are traditionally seen as a particularly pure field of merit, meaning that offerings made to them are believed to yield the greatest results due to their virtuous conduct and dedication to the Dhamma.
Okay. And for the skeptics?
For those who might view ghosts metaphorically, the underlying principle is profound interconnectedness and the cultivation of generosity. The act of giving for the benefit of others, seen or unseen, cultivates a compassionate heart in the giver.
Ah, so it benefits the giver too.
Absolutely. It reminds us that our actions have far-reaching effects and that generosity is a powerful expression of compassion, not just for the living, but perhaps for those who have passed on, reinforcing bonds across realms of existence, however you understand that.
Interesting. Following that profound idea of merit, we come to the Nidhikaṇḍaṃ, the section on treasures.
A very short but potent one.
Yes, it's very concise, but its core message seems incredibly powerful in defining what truly holds value. I imagine it really challenges our modern understanding of wealth and accumulation.
It absolutely does. It's a
Right.
radical reframing. The core message is quoted directly in the source. Thus, this accumulation of merit is of great value. Therefore, the wise praise the making of merit.
Merit as the real treasure.
Exactly. This text is a profound redefinition of value. It challenges our sort of ingrained notion that wealth is something accumulated externally in a bank and possessions and kept.
Right.
Instead, it posits that true wealth, the real treasure, is generated through wholesome actions, generosity, and ethical conduct.
Things you do, not things you have.
Precisely. While worldly treasures like gold and silver fade can be stolen, lost, or depreciated, merit is presented as a lasting internal wealth. It's something that truly benefits oneself and others, perhaps even across lifetimes, yielding positive results that no external force can take away.
That's a fundamental shift in thinking.
It's a fundamental shift in, you could almost say, economic thinking, urging us to invest in virtuous actions rather than just material possessions as our ultimate security.
Okay, powerful stuff. We conclude our deep dive into the Khuddakapāṭha with one of the most beloved and profound teachings, the Karaṇīyamettasuttaṃ,
Ah, the Metta Sutta. Yes, very central.
the discourse on loving kindness. This sutta focuses on cultivating boundless loving kindness, metta towards all beings. Now, for many people, myself included sometimes, cultivating loving kindness, especially towards difficult people, can be incredibly challenging.
It certainly can be. It's a practice.
Does the sutta offer any practical advice for overcoming those obstacles beyond simply, having the intention?
That's an excellent point because intention is just the starting point, isn't it? The central instruction here is to cultivate boundless loving kindness towards all beings without obstruction, ill will, or enmity in all directions above, below, across. Completely pervasive.
Boundless, that's the key word.
It is, and the sutta does offer practical steps implicitly. It describes a systematic and pervasive cultivation of this specific state of mind. Traditional commentaries expand on this, detailing how one should reflect on wishing well for oneself first.
Starting with yourself.
Yes, that's often key, and then gradually extend that same wish to others. First, maybe to loved ones, then neutral persons, and finally, yes, to those one finds difficult. Systematically breaking down those internal barriers.
And the practicality of it is striking too. The source explicitly states that this practice can be done in any posture, standing, walking, sitting, or lying down, as long as one is awake. It refers to this continuous practice as the sublime abiding.
Precisely. This emphasizes that metta isn't just a formal meditation you do for 20 minutes. It's a quality of mind to be cultivated throughout one's entire day, integrating it into every aspect of life.
Wow. A constant state.
That's the ideal, and the sutta describes a truly transformative outcome for those who really practice it, avoid wrong views, are virtuous, perfected in insight, and abandon craving. They will not return to conception in a womb.
Meaning liberation.
Yes, pointing towards liberation from the cycle of rebirth. This highlights the profound power of metta, or loving kindness. It extends beyond just a nice feeling to a state of being that actively purifies the mind, reduces defilements, and leads towards liberation itself. It's a remarkable and deeply applicable teaching, offering a tangible path to inner peace and universal compassion.
Is the last one.
It's also notable, as the source mentions, that this sutta is the one that directly states Khuddakapāṭha, meaning the Khuddakapāṭha is completed. So it holds that concluding and very significant position in the collection.
Wow. We've just navigated through the foundational insights of the Khuddakapāṭha, a truly remarkable collection of texts.
It really is something special.
It might seem simple at first glance, maybe because it's short, but as we've unpacked it, we've seen the incredible depth and practicality woven throughout. From declarations of commitment and ethical guidelines to these deep contemplative practices, fundamental questions, and profound discourses on blessings, virtues, merit, compassion, it provides a clear and progressive roadmap.
Indeed. What's truly compelling, I think, is how these seemingly disparate texts are actually interwoven threads in this rich fabric of ancient wisdom.
Yeah, they connect.
They connect beautifully. They collectively offer a holistic approach to life, guiding one from basic moral conduct and understanding right through to profound spiritual development and boundless compassion for all beings. It's a comprehensive foundation presented in a truly digestible format. Like you said, a spiritual toolkit that addresses various aspects of human experience.
Absolutely. The Khuddakapāṭha presents these profound ideas in a remarkably concise way, ideas that really do resonate across centuries.
They feel very alive still.
They do. So as you reflect on these ancient teachings we've discussed, maybe consider this. If you were to pick just one blessing from the Maṅgalasuttaṃ to consciously integrate into your week, perhaps it's associating with the wise or focusing on well-spoken words.
A concrete practice.
Or maybe one precept from the dasasikkhāpadaṃ to truly embody, like genuinely abstaining from false speech. What ripple effect might that one small focus have on your daily life, your interactions, or even just your inner peace?
That's an important question for personal reflection and application, isn't it? How might these ancient principles actually manifest practically in your modern life?
Something to think about. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the Khuddakapāṭha. We hope you walk away well-informed and perhaps with some new tools or renewed inspiration for your own journey.